weed, alcohol. Which one is better for you? Or they're not better for you? You know, as we go through life, some people need advice. Others go straight through without it. More power to you. Me personally, I like to roll one and, you know, other people like to pour up and some people like to drink and smoke. I want to do one. So, I'm not going to be biased to the situation, but I got a nice presentation today. As you can see, weed versus liquor, which one is better for the body? So yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to hold a vibe after the intro. If you're new to my videos, like and share, subscribe. It helps my channel grow. And I will catch to you after the intro. CLP, holding the vibe. Weed, liquor, which one is better?
Listen to the sound.
What up, everybody? How was all doing? Hope all is well. And if not, hope you get back on track sooner or later so you can add to your thing. Now, man, John was star. We got an interesting show today. Y'all see the thumbnail? Weed versus alcohol. Which one is better? If not, which one is less worse? Well, you know, I'm in these YouTube streets and there's a lot of videos, a lot of information that goes around. So I pop up on this channel. It's actually dealing with health. Post it. I'm going to put it in the description so you can check the full video out. You understand? But they're comparing what weed and what alcohol does to the body. So I'm like, you know what? This could be a good thing to talk about. Because, you know, I burn weed. I don't drink particularly. When I was younger, I drank some. I didn't really like that feeling, you know? So after drinking for a little bit in my teens, I was like, nah, that's not for me. But smoking now, that's a whole different story. What up, everybody? I'm CLP, holding the vibe. Like, share, subscribe. Drop a comment if you're vibing. They say the body produces its own alcohol, little by little. So everything that's in the world, the body produces it naturally. So personally, I don't drink because I can't handle my liquor. Other people can, but the liquor, I know from what I've heard, it also messes with your liver. It curdles your liver. And liver is a vital part of your life. It's one of the main organs, right? So weed, alcohol, I don't know what to say. I'm not going to be biased, but if I'm going to be biased, it's going to be with the weed. That's much better for you since the alcohol curdles your liver. But I understand that the smoke messes with your lungs. Now, there's things out there that's directed to clear up your lungs and have it in a better position. Do they have that for alcohol? Do they have stuff for clearing your liver up? Or is it the fact that you just have to stop drinking and let the liver rejuvenate itself? There's so much to learn and so much to talk, you know? But that's what this Holding the Vibe podcast is all about. Understanding the different situations in life. And when I pop up on stuff like this, I'm definitely gonna, you know, give a reaction and take a little bit. So I got a few minutes out of the video just to you know, get my point across. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I put the rest in the description and y'all can go check it out for yourself.
Effects. This is where alcohol and THC begin to separate even more. With alcohol, the effects tend to show up as direct progressive damage to organs over time. The liver is the primary side of this, since it's responsible for metabolizing alcohol. As alcohol is broken down, it forms acetaldehyde, which is actually more toxic than the alcohol itself and can trigger inflammation and oxidative stress. Over time, this can lead to fat accumulation in the liver, inflammation, scar tissue formation, and eventually more advanced conditions like fibrosis and cirrhosis, where the structure and function of the liver becomes significantly impaired. Alcohol can also affect other organs, including the pancreas that you can see here, as well as the inside lining of the stomach, contributing to conditions like pancreatitis and gastritis. THC is also processed by the liver, but it does not produce the same toxic metabolites or lead to the same progressive breakdown of organ structure at typical doses. Instead, many of its long-term effects are related more to how the brain and body function, especially with repeated or heavy use. Over time, this can lead to more persistent changes in memory, attention, and learning, along with the development of tolerance, meaning you need more to achieve the same effect. With heavier or more frequent use, some individuals may also experience increased anxiety, mood changes, or even a reduced ability to feel motivated or engaged. And while some people use THC to try to manage anxiety or depression, others may actually notice those symptoms becoming more pronounced over time. And it's also worth noting that THC use has increased over the years, not just in frequency, but in potency. In the 1990s, typical THC content was around 3 to 5%, whereas more recent cannabis flowers can range from 10 to 20% or more, which can amplify many of these effects, especially with frequent use. That said, some of THC's effects also depend on how it's used. For example, when cannabis is smoked, the lungs are exposed to combustion byproducts, which can lead to irritation and inflammation over time. And with vaping, especially with products from informal or unregulated sources, certain additives like vitamin E acetate have been linked to a condition known as EVALI, or e-cigarette or vaping use-associated lung injury. So while both substances can have long-term effects on the body, alcohol is more strongly associated with direct progressive damage to organ structure, whereas THC's effects tend to be more functional or dependent on the route of use. Another important difference between these two substances is their relationship to cancer risk. Alcohol is classified as a carcinogen. It has been linked to an increased risk of several types of cancer. Liver cancer is obviously going to be one of the most well-known, but it is also linked to cancers of the mouth, esophagus, breast, and colon. One of the main reasons for this is the production of acetaldehyde during alcohol metabolism, which can damage DNA and contribute to cancer development. Chronic inflammation and oxidative stress also play a role, and organizations like the World Health Organization emphasize that there is no completely risk-free level of alcohol consumption when it comes to long-term health, and that even moderate intake can contribute to cancer risk over time. THC and cannabis are more complex. When cannabis is smoked, it does expose the lungs, again, to those combustion byproducts, which can irritate the respiratory system. However, the link between cannabis use and cancer, especially compared to substances like tobacco, is less clear and not as strongly established. When it comes to THC itself, particularly in non-smoked forms like edibles, there is currently no strong evidence showing that it directly causes cancer at typical levels of use. Some compounds in cannabis are even being studied for potential anti-cancer properties in lab settings, but that's very different from saying cannabis prevents cancer in real-world use. So the key takeaway here is that alcohol has a well-established and dose-dependent relationship with cancer risk, whereas THC's relationship to cancer is less clear and depends more on how it's used.
Now seeing the video, I know both is not the best thing for you, but I'm just saying, it's still your choice. What do y'all think? But it's all about information on this podcast. It's all about information and getting it out there, and then you can make your choice and your decision. This is your journey. This is your experience,